Let's take that quick break then right here on the show and in fact, Make in India and Markets, that's the Finance Minister, the co-Gensis event, something that you should tune in live and exclusively to at 5 p.m. on ET Now. Okay, that's the welcome back to BNSN, the stock game. Let's keep it with some more recommendations then from each of our experts on the stock game. And Rakesh, let's talk a little bit about IT. Okay, let's just cut across to UK. Sinha speaking.
We want on day one to ensure that the transition is smooth. We are reasonably assured about our capacity to regulate. And in a few months, I am not talking of a time frame of years, in a few months, we will move towards these development measures. On a long-term basis, we will like to ensure that the correct signals are given by the market, by the regulator, so that a farmer or a consumer can decide, he can plan how much sowing should he do, when should he start marketing his product. So our signals, the market signals, should be helping him in hedging his risk. In the long run, we also want that in commodities, where India is a very dominant player, we should not be the price takers. We should be setting the market trends. So we should be the price makers. So in the long run, for example, in gold or in petroleum products, India should be setting the price. So these are our long-term requirements. So immediate, medium-term and long-term, this is the way SEBI will be functioning.
A couple of questions. You already have one deemed stock exchange listed on the stock exchanges, MCX. Will you be coming out with some changes to the listing regulations for stock exchanges?
Our current regulations, which is called the Stock Exchange and Clearing Corporation regulations, do provide for listing of the stock exchanges. There are certain conditions that they should be compliant, and we do not allow self-listing. Today's event was one of the things at the back of our mind, that we wanted to be sure, and everybody in the market to be sure, that how many exchanges are going to function. You allow a security exchange to get listed, and tomorrow there are 3 other exchanges which are coming through this route of merger, then for the investor it's a bad signal. So we were waiting for this. So this was one of the events we were waiting for. We are also trying to fine-tune some of our requirements, but SEBI is not against listing of the exchanges. We will be coming out with some more guidelines. The regulations are already there, and then we will allow that.
So one of the biggest applications is the shrinkage of brokers' network for commodity exchanges, because many of the brokers are also doing alternative businesses, like they are jewelers or metal traders, and current broker regulation does not allow such a thing. So will you be looking at some kind of easing of those regulations for them, or will they?
Let us understand that a broker today in the securities market cannot have any other major business in the same entity. They are permitted to open a separate entity and do the rest of the business. So that will be our mantra, that will be our guidelines. So to answer your question, if there is some broker in the commodity futures market, commodity derivative market, and that broker has also got an entity and which is allied to it in the main securities market, we will have a mechanism how both their activities can merge together, because the idea is also to give more efficiency. So that will happen, we will allow that they can make it the same thing. But if somebody is trying to open an entirely different business, not dealing with securities, not dealing with commodity futures, and a third business, that obviously is not envisaged in the main entity. In an allied entity, they can do whatever they want.
So this merger has happened in a fairly quick time. So do you see any teething or any challenges that you envisage?
Yes, this is not a very easy thing to do. let me remind all of you that merger of business entities is very common in India.
Okay, SEBI Chairman UK Sinha speaking not against listing of any equity exchanges, and some norms will be coming out soon, talking a little bit about the SEBI FMC merger. But Samir Shah, Managing Director and CEO NCDX, says that the new merger will open new opportunities for broker members and will also boost investor confidence in the commodity space. Going forward, he believes that SEBI will strengthen the risk management in the commodity markets. Let's listen in.
Oh, it is absolutely a big day. I mean, this is going to be a game-changing moment for the commodity markets and financial markets in general, because to have a tier 1 regulator who is trusted, who has the credibility, who has the proven experience of managing complex market situations and markets to take over the governance of commodity markets will give a very, very positive sign to investors, participants, farmers, processors and a variety of stakeholders to say that this is a market that will have the highest levels of risk management and trust and credibility, and which over time will increase the confidence and the participation levels in this market. So it is definitely a game-changing moment.
So if I could ask you, we all know there are enough challenges when it comes to the commodities market, but now with a bigger regulator like SEBI, how do you see things panning out? Say 1, 2, 3 issues that you would like the regulator to focus on a priority basis from the market development perspective?
So I think the first step for the new regulator, as the SEBI chairman mentioned, is for SEBI to strengthen risk management. So risk management FMC has been strengthening through warehouse norms and through various measures and initiatives introduced by them. But SEBI will really need to strengthen the risk management in commodity markets to the levels that they exist in the securities markets, which are one of the most respected markets in the world. So our first priority as well, before the development effort starts, is to bring risk management at an international level and at par. And then after that, new product development, new participation development, as the SEBI chairman has already outlined. But we would welcome the first step of strengthening risk management to give confidence to existing participants, saying that this market cannot be tampered with and is a safe place to operate in.
Shah, if I could ask you, the other issue which the broking community or the participants at large have been discussing are the issues of broking charges, so on and so forth. Now with that getting aligned with what is happening in equity markets, A, do you think that is going to be a reality? And B, does that mean we see a lot of consolidation among the small players?
It could happen. I personally don't think that the increased charges are necessarily a bad thing, because they give, yes, in the short term, transactions cost will go up.
Okay, that is an ET Now exclusive where we do have the NCDX and speaking with ET Now, talking about that crucial merger. In fact, Samir Shah saying that it's an important moment for the commodity and financial markets, and that it opens up a lot of opportunities for broker members, and SEBI will need to look into strengthening risk management. Well, right back then to the stock game, and let's keep it with the last 2 recommendations. Rakesh, take us through why you've picked out Wipro and you're bullish on Apollo Hospitals as well.
Well, if you see, Avan, like Wipro is having excellent bullish structure. Stock is making higher tops, higher bottoms. To me, like Wipro appears as one of the strongest stock in the IT space. Although the stock is not participating in a rally, stock is declining. But I feel one should utilize such declines to buy into the counter. On the downside, I feel 584, 585 is a good support. One can buy Wipro at current levels with a stop loss at 584.50 levels for a short-term target price of 630. And my last call is a buy call on Apollo Hospital. Here also the stock is making higher tops, higher bottoms. In fact, we have also seen a positive crossover on the momentum indicators. I feel stock is a perfect candidate, making new lifetime highs in next 1.5 to 2 months. From the trading perspective, one can place a stop loss at 1357 and one can buy for a short-term target price of 1487 on the upside.
Okay, monitor some of those levels. That's a call coming in from Rakesh. Mitul, let's chat about Infi. That's the stock that you've handpicked from the IT space. And what's the rationale for Quality Dairy? Mitul, just run us through your call on Infi as well as Quality.
Infi is another all-time high scrape. It's near to its all-time high scrape. Its chart structure is so bullish, and it is trading its near. It has trading at near to its high. Yesterday it has given a good breakout. Today it is not participating in the rally, but I feel any downside it should be used as an accumulation in this script. And the stop loss is 1110. Quality is a good buy. It has come up. Its journey started from 50 to 100, and it has given a good breakdown. 60 to 65, it was a good accumulation level. It has given a breakout from there. My stop loss for the show is 71.40. In medium term, one can expect at least 94, and for the show, my target is 84. Thank you.
Okay, Quality Dairy currently under a bit of pressure, and Infosys is the stock that he is upbeat on. But let's move right on then, Jay, and discuss your last two recommendations. First up, run us through Future Retail. That counter a little bit illiquid, currently trading at about 121, and even in the last 1 month, it has managed to move steadily, but on the back of very low volumes. What's the reason that you've picked this out? And BOB, do you think that it's one of the better placed banks, at least when it comes to the charts, as compared to the rest of the PSU pocket?
Sure, see, I think that since it has fallen since Feb or Jan of this year, it's been consolidating in a triangular pattern, and the range is getting narrower and narrower. So what we are seeing on the daily as well as the weekly charts is that it's forming higher bottoms and the lower tops. In that process, it has formed this symmetrical triangular pattern, which I think eventually it will break on the upside only. Hence, the medium-term traders, or the investors, I would say, can buy this stock and they can target around 170, 175 on the upside, because that's the target for this symmetrical triangle pattern. And it will definitely offer a good risk to reward also on the buy side. The indicators are well into the buy mode on the daily as well as the weekly charts, which will also confirm that the trend is on the upside. But yes, for the short term, what I feel is that for the game show, it's been trading in this range, which I said 130, 32 on the upside, and 102, 103 on the downside. I think it's going to test the upper end of the range, which comes to around 130, and the immediate support is pegged at around 119. So I think it's a good short-term trade bet for the target of 130 and a stop loss of 119. Second is a buy call on the Bank of Baroda. Well, this is one of the bank among the PSU space, which I think is the best and is one of my favorite. Majorly three banks, BOB, PNB and SBI are the three banks which I have been recommending to our clients on the PSU banking space. I think the way the chart setup is, it's like it has formed an impulse on a daily as well as the weekly chart is quite visible, following which we have seen a three-wave corrective waves in Bank of Baroda. Following this, I think that it has formed a leading triangle pattern, and it has retraced the rise of the same as well. So now I think it's heading on the upside, targeting around 196, and a stop loss can be placed at 182.40.
Okay, gentlemen, let you go on that note. Thanks for joining in on this leg of the stock game. Coming up next is Market Sense.
ऐसे ही नहीं बना है आपका नेस्ले.
Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes.
हमें आजादी मिल गई बेटा. तिनका तिनका, मिट्टी मिट्टी, हमने जोड़ा है खुद को इस देश से. देश की उड़ान से, जीत के जश्न से, हमने आपके साथ सपनों को चखा है.
मैं बगैर किसी झिझक के कह सकता हूँ कि सारे जहां से अच्छा.
हमने भी हर गीत संभाल के रखा है. हमें कदर है माँ के एहसास की, विश्वास की. तभी तो चुन चुन कर सिर्फ बेहतरीन क्वालिटी ही आप तक पहुँचाई है. और आज भी आपके साथ हैं जब देश में नई उम्मीद गुनगुनाई है. नेस्ले 100 सालों से देश की जिंदगी का हिस्सा.
My brother commands a warship.
My husband commands close to a 6-figure salary.
My son commands a great view from his balcony.
My brother,
my husband,
my son
is a naval officer. He has a notion of opportunities.
Indian Navy, an ocean of opportunities. www.joinindiannavy.gov.in
लो विजया बेटी आ गई।
पर आपने तो जया बताया था। अरे विजया में भी तो जया है, सिर्फ 19-20 का तो अंतर है।
लेकिन कार वाले पे ऐसा 19-20 नहीं चलता, क्योंकि यहाँ ऑन रोड प्राइस है एकदम एक्यूरेट, नो अप्रोक्सीमेट।